focus switches over to the World Cup qualification now as Africa takes the spotlight. Who's, of course, going to edge closer to those World Cup in 2026 and who, of course, is on the brink of elimination. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today is all about the matchday number 5, that's right, in the Africa qualifiers for World Cup in 2026. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe and your one-stop shop for World Cup qualifiers, Papanovas, World Football. We're going to all hear under one rooski. Of course, we are joining this late in the party, that's right, as we enter pretty much the halfway mark in the World Cup qualifiers. Top team goes through at the end of the qualification phase with the second place team going through to a bit of a playoff. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second, of course. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe and one-stop shop for World Cup qualifiers, and a big shout out to the patrons and, of course, the members. So here we go, bringing you bang up to date with what's going on over in Africa. That's right, goodness gracious me. So let's bring you bang up to date. We've not done this before. We are focused on a lot of continents for the World Cup qualifiers, but this, of course, is now Africa's turn. And where am I? Of course, here I come, right here, right now. So currently in the African qualifiers, we have Egypt currently top of the pops. They look good right now, good distance as well. And remember, second place gets you a spot in the playoffs. So currently Egypt looks set to be going to the World Cup. We expect that. Meanwhile, in Group B, we didn't expect this. Sudan currently in the charge over in Group B, 2 points clear over Senegal, who are in the runners-up spot. We've also got the likes of DR Congo, also trying to get themselves in the thick of things. Kick it on forward. We have Group C, Rwanda top the charts over there, because remember, top spot gets through to the World Cup qualifiers. South Africa also in the mixer, level on points with Benin. Also there, Nigeria slumping, yet to get a win this campaign. 3 successive draws actually 3 draws out of the first 4 games. Over in Group D, of course, familiar face, it is Cameroon, yet to taste defeat. They are top of the pops with 8 points. Keep an eye out, though, for Angola, also yet to taste a defeat in this one. Meanwhile, we keep on forward. Of course, at Group E, Morocco look fantastic. Of course, they've only played 3 games. I think Eritrea have removed themselves from the competition, so they are out. Only 5 teams remain in this group, but currently Morocco looks set to return to the World Cup stage where they finished. Did they finish bronze, or I don't really know, semi-finals last time around. Meanwhile, Group F has Ivory Coast, tip of the top of the table, also yet to taste defeat. Gabon not too far away either. Burundi, and maybe even Kenya. Give themselves a shot if they can get some winning ways as well. Into Group G, Algeria, top of the charts there with Mozambique. That's a 2-way tie at the moment. Guinea need to get their act together as well. Tunisia look the part in Group H. Namibia, though, could also threaten them by just 2 points adrift of the moment. So I think... No, we got one more. That's right. And it's Comoros leading the charge in Group I. Ghana is in second place, level on points, but goal difference separate the two sides. Mali yet to get going as well. Goodness gracious me. So currently there are some big nations on the brink of elimination, but we're still a long way away from, of course, the final outcome. Let's kick it all off with a trip to Sierra Leone then, shall we, as they take on Guinea-Bissau over in Group A. Sierra Leone currently find themselves 4th in the table with 5 points. They're coming into this on the back of just 1 win over the last 6 matches. Guinea-Bissau, though, currently find themselves 2nd in that same group, Group A, with 6 points to the name. But they are winless in the last 6 matches. They played each other 4 times in 2007, 1 win apiece and 2 draws. Last time they played over at Sierra Leone, it was a 2-2 draw back in June 2022. The reverse fixture, and the last time they played in this competition, it was a 2-1 win back in Guinea-Bissau back in September 2023. Guinea-Bissau, though, on the back of a 4-1 loss to Guinea in a friendly way back in December. Sierra Leone did also lose 2-0 in the AFCONs to Zambia. That's right. So both sides looking to get back to winning ways and fast. Of course, we don't have any bookies odds on this one, so it's going to be all about the gut and my instinct on this one. I'm going to go with a Sierra Leone loss here. Guinea-Bissau getting back to winning ways, and of course, give themselves a chance over in the respectable Group A group. Let's get into the next game round of matches then, shall we? Of course, it is Burkina Faso. They're going to be hosting Djibouti, of course, coming over in Group A also. Burkina Faso find themselves 3rd right now with 5 points, but are coming into on back-to-back defeats. Djibouti on the flip side, rock bottom, just 1 point for the campaign, all the way down into 6th. They played Burkina Faso twice since 2021. 2 wins for the Burkina Faso, nothing for Djibouti. There's been no draws. Last time around, over at this very venue, was a 2-0 win way back in October 2021. Burkina Faso on the back of a 3-0 loss to Malawi in the AFCON there. It was in the AFCON qualifiers or in the AFCON tournament, not not sure in the African qualifiers. 3-0 loss to Malawi. They haven't scored a goal in the last 2 matches. Djibouti, though, on the back of a draw against Ethiopia earlier in the World Cup qualifying phase. We'd expect Burkina Faso to bounce back here with a 3-0 win, comfortably so. That's where I'm going with it on this match day over in match day number 5. Let's go to Ethiopia then, shall we, as they host... who are they hosting? They're hosting Egypt, of course, a bit of a ding-dong classic coming out on the 21st of March. That's right, Ethiopia find themselves again 5th in the table, 3 points for the campaign, just 1 win the last 6. I guess Egypt who are tip at the top of the table with 10 points over in Group A, but they're coming into this on back-to-back draws. Now, they played twice since 2022, 1 win apiece, of course, and no draws. Last time around at this very venue, it was a 2-0 win for Ethiopia way back in June 2022. However, the last time they played, it was in Egypt, and it was a 1-0 win for Egypt way back in September 2023. Coming into this, Ethiopia on the back of a 2-1 win over the Democratic Republic of Congo. That was way back in November. Egypt on the back of successive 1-1s, drawn with Cape Verde, and then Botswana in the AFCON qualifiers, of course. No odds on this one, but my gut says Ethiopia will lose. 2-0 winners, Egypt to take it to the house. Let's get into the next one then, shall we? It's the DR Congo. They're hosting South Sudan, also over in Group A. They've played each other never, according to my data. DR Congo coming into this on the back of successive defeats. They sit 3rd right now with 7 points. Up against South Sudan, who coming into this on the back of just 1 win in the last 6 matches. They have all the way down to 5th with 2 points for the campaign. They're coming into this, though, on the back of that 3-0 loss to South Africa. DR Congo losing to Ethiopia most recently, again in the AFCON. It is returning to World Cup qualifiers now is the prime agenda. The odds for this one, got none of it. Going to go with a DR Congo victory, 2-1 win, so 3-1 win in the end to give themselves a big old boost to finish in that top 2, maybe more. Let's go to Togo then, shall we, as they take on Mauritania over in Togo. Of course, the hosts coming into this on 33% form on the back of 1 win of the last 6. They sit 4th right now, 3 points over in Group B. Mauritania also on the back of a win, most recently, 42% form. They are rock bottom with 6 in the table, just 1 point, and they played Togo just the 1 time in 2003. It was a 0-0 draw way back in July 2003. Togo, though, on the back of a 3-0 win over Ethiopia. Guinea, that was way back in November. Mauritania on the back of a 1-0 win over Cape Verde way back in the same sort of time frame back in November as well. Good result for them. Both sides on the back of victories. Both expected to scrap it out for the points on this one. This could be a draw. I'm going with the 1-1er on the night over in Togo. Let's go Sudan then, shall we, as they take on Senegal over on the 22nd of March. Of course, played each other twice in 2018. Nothing for Sudan, 2 was for Senegal. There's been no draws. Currently, though, Sudan find themselves tip at the top of the table over in Group B with 10 points on a 50% ratio. 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. Senegal, though, of course, in second spot, 8 points. They've won 5 on the spin, of course, including a cheeky 3-0 win the last time they played in Senegal. Meanwhile, they also played each other in the African Cup of Nations qualification phase back in October 2018. It was also a 1-0 win for Senegal way back when. Senegal on the back of that 2-0 win over Burundi. They've got, 5 clean sheets on the spin. They should win this game comfortably so. Sudan, though, on the back of a 0-0 draw against Angola. They haven't scored a goal in the last 2. Bookies, though, will probably go with Senegal. We got no odds, but Senegal should win. 2-0 winners to maintain their push and maybe leapfrog Sudan to take over the command of the table. Meanwhile, Zimbabwe taking on a Benin. That's right, coming at you in Group C. Zimbabwe are 6th right now. 2 points for the campaign. Just 1 defeat in the last 6, though. Up against Benin, who will find themselves 3rd with 7 points, coming into this on 50% form. That's 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. However, winless in the last 3. The last match was a 0-0 draw against Libya. Zimbabwe losing to Cameroon way back in November. Of course, both those games in the AFCON qualifiers, it looks like. Of course, Zimbabwe need to get back to winning ways. This is a tricky one to call here. I'm trying to figure it out. I think I'm leaning towards a 1-0 Zimbabwe win. To get themselves back in their hunt here because they need some results and fast. Let's go Jamba. Of course, South Africa up against Lesotho. That's coming at you also this coming match day on the 21st of March. South Africa currently find themselves 2nd in the table, 7 points for the campaign. Unbeaten in at least the last 6 matches. Up against Lesotho, who are 4th with 5 points, of course, with just 1 win in the last 6. They played 3 times in 2016. 2 wins for Bafana, no wins for Lesotho, and of course 1 draw between the 2 sides. That 1 draw was the last time they played. It was way back in January 2024. 0-0 in a friendly. Meanwhile, South Africa on the back of that 3-0 win over South Sudan. They got back-to-back clean sheets. Lesotho's last match, though, is 7-0 loss to Morocco. Goodness gracious me. They're expected to lose this one, I imagine. Going to go with a 2-1 win South Africa to keep themselves truly on track for maybe qualifying for the World Cup in 2026. Let's go Rwanda. They're taking on They're taking on Nigeria. Need to really get their act together at the moment. Not doing great right now over in Group C. Rwanda find themselves top of the table, those 7 points. 2 wins, 2 defeats in the last 4 up against Nigeria. Just 1 defeat, though, in the last 6. They played 4 times in 2005. 1 win for Rwanda, nothing for Nigeria. There's been 3 draws. Last time they played each other, it was in Nigeria. It was a 2-1 win for Rwanda back in November 2024. And speaking of that, that was the last match that these two sides played. It was against each other, and that was in the Africa Cup of Nations qualification phase. Goodness gracious me. 2-1 win it was for Rwanda. There should be bounce back ability here. You would imagine Nigeria have to fight back. I'm going with a 1-0 win, just enough to get over the line. Let's go to Eswatini. Are they in this? Yes, they are in this one, of course, taking on Cameroon. That's right, Eswatini. Taking on Cameroon on the 19th of March over in Group D. They find themselves bottom with no points thus far, and they're winless in at least the last 6 matches. Cameroon, though, are top of the pops there with 8 points, and they're unbeaten in at least the last 6. Yet to play each other, these two sides, according to my data. Eswatini on the back of that 6-0 loss to Mali way back in November. Cameroon, though, picking up a 2-1 win over Zimbabwe, and again, unbeaten in the last 6 matches. They should be too good for these guys. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win on the road, and of course, maintain their top of the table status over in their respective group. Cape Verde taking on Mauritius then, also same group, I believe that's Group D. Cape Verde find themselves 3rd with 7 points in the campaign. They are winners in the last 4 against Mauritius, though, who are 5th with 4 points. Also, just 1 win the last 6. Both sides have played twice against each other, 2008. 2 wins out of 2 for Cape Verde, including a 3-1 win last time around back in June 2008. It was a 3-1 win over in Cape Verde. Cape Verde, though, losing in the last game against Mauritiana way back in November. Mauritius losing to Hong Kong of late and haven't scored a goal in the last 3 matches, and they are pretty shit, according to my, when I look at them. They're not much going for them. So, Mauritius will lose this game. This could be a cricket score. I've only gone with a 2-0 win, but it could be 6. It could be bloody 6. 2-0 winners. Cape Verde will take it to the house. Let's go and take a little look then, shall we, at Libya. They're taking on Angola, that's right, over in Group D. Libya find themselves 2nd with 7 points for the campaign. Back-to-back games without a loss. Up against Angola, who are 4th, 6 points for the campaign, but they're yet to really get going in this qualification phase. They're all the way down into 4th, but they're unbeaten in the last 6 matches. They played twice in 2021, 1 for Libya, nothing for Angola. There's been 1 draw. That 1 draw was the last match they played way back in November 2021. Libya, though, on the back of that 0-0 draw against Benin, they are unbeaten in the last 2, back-to-back clean sheets. Angola, though, on the back of successive draws, and unbeaten in the last 6 matches. They did draw with Sudan most recently in the AFCON. Angola should win this one, I think. Going with the 1-0 win on the road. Big win for them to get themselves back in contention, maybe even leapfrog Libya in the process in this table. Meanwhile, let's go Zambia. They're taking on Eritrea, or are they? This game might not be taking place because of their removal from the competition. I can't see them on here, so I'm assuming that one's dead in the ground there. I would have went with the 2-0 win for Zambia if it was going to go ahead, but I think Eritrea are removed from the competition. So big win for Zambia, none the same. 3-0. Let's make it a 3-0 because that's what usually happens. Tanzania, they're taking on Congo on the 17th of March, coming at you over in Tanzania. They play each other never, according to my data. Tanzania, though, 2nd in the table, 6 points for the campaign. This is over in Group E. Back-to-back wins for them. Congo, though, Republic of Congo, they find themselves 5th with no points thus far with 5 games without a win. Congo on the back of that 1-0 loss to Uganda. Tanzania with that all-important 1-0 win over Guinea. Back-to-back clean sheets as well for Tanzania, and they'll fancy their chances in this game as well. Got no odds on this as of we don't have any odds on any of the other ones. I'm going to go with a Tanzania draw here. 1-1 in the end. First point in the bag for Congo. Let's go Niger. They're taking on hot shots Morocco. Coming at you over in Niger, or maybe in a neutral venue. I don't know. But this match will take place on the 20th of March over Group E. Currently, Nigeria find themselves 3rd in the table. 3 points for them. Back-to-back wins up against Morocco, who've won at least 6 on the spin. They're top of the pops, and 9 points for them so far. They played each other 4 times to 2011. 4 wins out of 4 for Morocco, including a 1-0 win. They last played back in September 2019. Morocco, though, on the back of that 7-0 win over Lesotho. Oh, my goodness gracious me. If we look back, they've scored 5, 10, 20, 21 goals in the last 4 games combined, conceding just the 1. They're absolutely knocking teams out of the park. Meanwhile, Nigeria with a 2-1 win over Ghana most recently. So this is over in Group A. Morocco looked too good. Going to go with a 2-0 win, probably more than that, though. Might be a little bit conservative on that one, so might be a 4-0 winner. Who knows? Meanwhile, Gabon, they're going to be taking on the Seychelles. Again, a team expected to get absolutely tonked on this one. Gabon find themselves 2nd in the table right now with 9 points. They're on 58% form, just 1 defeat in the last 5 up against Seychelles. Seychelles, who haven't won in the last 6 matches. And, of course, rock bottom in the group. That is Group F. Never played each other according to my data. Gabon, though, on the back of that 1-0 win over Central African Republic. Seychelles losing to Namibia in, I don't even know, the COSFA Cup Group C way back in July 2024. So we're expecting a heavy win for Gabon on this one. I'm just going with the 2-1 win, but maybe that's a little bit stupid of me. Maybe a 4-1 win. Let's give Seychelles a goal on this one. Meanwhile, let's go to Gambia. That's of course, this was Group F, by the way. Let's go to Gambia as they take on my boys, Kenya. That's right, Kenya over in Gambia. Of course, this match taking place on the 20th of March. Gambia currently find themselves in 5th spot over in Group F with 3 points, just one defeat the last 4. Up against Kenya, who are 4th with 5 points, with 5 points as well, or 5 points. They are winless though in the last 4 matches. Never played each other, these two sides. Gambia though coming into this on the back of that 1-0 win over Tunisia. Kenya though drawing with Namibia most recently, 0-0 over in the AFCON qualifiers. Back-to-back draws for them. They need to find some wins on that one. No odds for this one. I think my head's rolling a little bit here. Going to go with a draw here. Gambia 1, Kenya 1 over in their respective group. Let's go to Burundi against Ivory Coast. That's coming out on the 21st of March. That's right. Burundi currently find themselves in Group F in 3rd spot with 7 points. Winless, though, in the last 5 matches. Ivory Coast are tip at the top of the table. 10 points for them. 4 wins of the last 6 matches. And they've beaten Burundi in the one and only time. I've got them on record back in November 2022. Burundi, though, picking up a 2-0 loss to Senegal. They haven't scored a goal in the last 3 games. Only scored 1 goal in the last 5. Meanwhile, Ivory Coast on the back of that 4-0 win over Chad back in November in the AFCON qualifiers. This one's in Group F. Ivory Coast should win this one. Just the 1-0 win in my eyes, but it might be more than that. We'll see. Meanwhile, Mozambique, they're going to be taking on Uganda, of course, over on the 20th of March in Group G. Mozambique find themselves 2nd with 9 points, just 1 defeat in the last 6 up against Uganda, who find themselves in 5th, 75% form with 6 points for the moment. They've never played each other according to my data. Uganda, though, coming into this on the back of that 1-0 win over Congo. Mozambique on the 2-1 win over Guinea-Bissau, again, both in the AFCON qualifiers back in November. Big win needed for Uganda here, but Mozambique have been decent the past couple of years. I'm expecting another tight one here. 1-1 draw. Mozambique will be happier. Uganda still well off the pace in the race for the top 2. Botswana, they're going to be taking on Algeria, coming at you over at Botswana on the 21st of March. Botswana find themselves 3rd with 6 points for the campaign, unbeaten the last 4 up against Algeria, who are top. They've got 9 points so far, and they're unbeaten in at least the last 6, winning 5 of that last 6. They played Botswana twice since 2019, 2 wins out of 2, including a 5-0 win way back in March 2021 when these two sides last played. Meanwhile, the last time they played in Botswana, it was a 1-0 win for Algeria back in November 2019. The Algerians on the back of that 5-1 win over Libya. Just 1 goal conceded in the last 3 matches, but 2 goals conceded in the last 6. Botswana, though, on the back of successive draws, drawing with Mauritania and Egypt in quick succession. They are unbeaten in the last 4 matches. Goodness gracious me, 2 wins, 2 defeats. 2 wins, 2 draws thus far in, and this is, of course, as respected in Group G. Tight one, this one. Algeria should have enough in the tank. 2-1 win. Botswana might give a bit of fight, though, in the end. Let's kick it on forward and go to Guinea. Guinea taking on, they're taking on Somalia. Of course, over in Guinea on the 21st of March. Now, these two sides never played each other. Guinea coming at you in 4th spot in Group G. They've got 6 points thus far. Just 1 defeat, though, in the last 5 up against Somalia, who are 6 yet to get going. Winners, of course, so far, and winners in the last 6. Somalia did lose last time around against Botswana, 3-1 loss there. Guinea picking up a 4-1 win over Guinea-Bissau in a friendly back in December. No odds on this one, but we'd expect Guinea to come out on top. 2-0 winners over Somalia in their respective group to give themselves a boost as well to qualify for the World Cup in 2026. Liberia taking on Tunisia. That's coming at you as well. This match is taking place on the 19th of March. Liberia coming at you. 3rd in the table, 7 points for the campaign, just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Tunisia, who are top, 10 points for the campaign, just 1 win though in the last 4. They have played Liberia twice since 2015. There's been 1 win apiece, yet to get a draw. The previous match, or the last match, was a 4-1 win for Tunisia in Tunisia back in September 2016. Meanwhile, the last time they played in Liberia, it was a 1-0 win for Liberia back in September 2015. Liberia, though, did lose to Algeria, most recently 5-1 way back in November. Tunisia, though, with a 1-0 loss to Gambia. Goodness gracious me. And a bit of a shock upset there. Tunisia looks set to maintain their top of the table status. I'm going with the 1-0 win over Liberia in Liberia this coming match day. Malawi up against Namibia. That's also coming at you this coming international week. Malawi, where are they? They're, of course, taking place on the 20th of March over in Group H. Malawi find themselves 4th with 6 points, unbeaten the last 2 up against Namibia, who are 2nd with 8 points, however winless in the last 6. They played 5 times since 2011. 3 wins in Malawi, nothing from Namibia. There's been 2 draws, including a draw last time around back in July 2021. That was the COFSA Cup Group B. Malawi, though, picking up a 3-0 win over Burkina Faso. They make it back-to-back clean sheets. Kenya, though, and Namibia do get out to a 0-0 draw to make it back-to-back draws for Namibia, but back-to-back games without a goal on this one. Namibia are in a good position in the table, but I do anticipate Malawi to get a victory here, 1-0 winners, to boost their own chances to progress from their respectable group. Meanwhile, Equatorial Guinea up against up against Sao Tao and Principale, of course, over in Group H. Equatorial Guinea find themselves 5th with 3 points, just one defeat though in the last 5 against Sao Tao and Principale, who are rock bottom, 6th in the table, yet to get a point. They've never played each other according to my data. Equatorial Guinea, though, on the back of a 3-0 loss to Togo, scored in the last 2 games. Meanwhile, Sao Tao Principale coming into this on the back of a loss to Liberia back in June. So they haven't played in nearly the best part of a year, give or take, maybe 3/4 of a year. So it's been a bit rusty, perhaps, but and I think that will be shown in this match. I do expect Equatorial Guinea to come out top with a 2-1 win over in Group H to boost their chances. Let's get into the back end of this one now. We got Central African Republic up against Madagascar on the 19th of March. Of course, they find themselves currently Central African Republic 5th in the table, 4 points for the campaign, 5 defeats on the spin up against Madagascar, who are 3rd with 7 points, and they played each other 6 times since 2015. 3 wins for the hosts, 1 win for the visitors, 2 draws last time around. It was a 2-0 win for Central African Republic back in March 2023. Goodness gracious me. The hosts, though, on the back of that 1-0 loss to Gabon, they haven't scored a goal in the last 5 games. They've lost 5 on the spin of Central African Republic. Meanwhile, Madagascar also coming into on the back of a 1-0 loss to Comoros. That was back in November. Tight one over in Group I. Who would you think on this one? This could be a draw. Yes, going with a draw here. 1-1 in the end. A point in the bag for each and every one of them. Into the final 2, we have Ghana. Must win Ghana. They're going to be taking on Chad, that's right, over in Group I as well. Ghana currently find themselves 2nd with 9 points, but they are winless in the last 9, at least in the last 6 matches. Up against Chad, who are 6th, yet to get a point, also winless in the last 6. Never played each other according to my data, but Chad are on the back of that 4-0 loss to Ivory Coast. Ghana losing 2-1 to Nigeria. Again, I think they did not qualify for the African Cup of Nations. They are out. Ghana need a win if they're going to do anything in this international window. They're not in the African Cup of Nations. They need a bounce back, and they need to be at the World Cup if they're going to represent. It's going to be a tough old one. I think they should have enough to beat Chad. 2-1 winners in the end. And then finally, we have Comoros against Mali. Also coming on on the 21st of March over in Group I. Comoros unbeaten in the last 6 matches. They're top of the table in this respectable group, 9 points so far. Up against Mali, who are 4th with 5 points, but 83% form, unbeaten in the last 6. Never played each other, these two sides. Comoros, though, on the back of that 1-0 win over Madagascar. Mali with that 60 win over Eswatini, and haven't conceded a goal in at least the last 5 matches. No bookies odds on this one. We're going to have to go with our gut. Our gut says Mali should. What have I got there? I don't even know. What is that? I think that's a 1-0 win for Mali. I don't know. Let's say it's a 1-0 win behind the graphic. There it is. 1-0 winners in the end. And that's, my friends, is what I'm expecting will happen in this weekend's games, of course. So make sure you do the business. And that's what I'm expecting this weekend over in the international football over in the Central. And those are my predictions for the next round of games in the World Cup qualifiers over in Africa. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down below. We look forward to seeing what we got in the next round of games. But until then, we're just about done.